All right, everybody. Happy Aloha Friday. Today is July 5th. And yesterday, a lot of people had off and stuff. Nonetheless, I came in and I streamed. I did a long stream yesterday, 4 hours. And I had this stoic existence of the usual suspects and new people here on the stream. So thanks for hanging out for that. But the benefit of that is I got 2 big chunks of stream juice that went on the YouTube channel. Obviously, if you're seeing this on YouTube, it's because you missed the stream. You want to join me on the stream, and you got a Twitch account. The links are down below. If not, everybody say hi to everybody on YouTube for the future post of this on YouTube. So today I'm going to be doing quite a run of dono catch-up. So not catch-up like mustard and ketchup, but catch-up like catching up on that stuff. So we're going to be doing that. And so I look forward to that. I've been getting some really fun responses from people outside of our whole avocado show Twitch YouTube sphere. I guess people are starting to find it on its own on YouTube. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's a fun thing. So I'm getting more comments from people who are enjoying what we do here at the guidance and the leadership of the chat. And so briefly, quick rules of the house here. When you put your songs in for the Wheel of Cheese, of which I will be doing some today, nothing over 7 minutes. Anything over 7 minutes gets an automatic. And but I will reach out to you. But please be aware of your song length when you put in the Wheel of Cheese. Some people have asked, well, how come this song is 9 minutes long? If it's a dono and people are averaging like $1 a minute, you know, of that, that's just kind of how that kind of works. So the donos don't have a limit per se. I've had people who wanted me to do 25, 30-minute listens. Well, usually that means they've matched that or have been generous enough, you know, to justify that. That's just kind of the cool rules, if you would. In Hawaii here, we call it kind of pono, being like cool about it all. So, but, excuse me. That's it. Let's get going on this. And so the very first one we got coming up to us is our usual suspect. He does not make it onto the stream, but he's always onto the YouTube. I just want just this one time, because I know he comes on at YouTube because he's not in this time zone by the time I do these shows. Everybody just say hi to the kebab seller. So when he sees his song come up, which is right now, hey, hey, kebab seller, wish you were here. Sorry you can't be, but you're doing what you're doing there. So his song that he wants, and he's usually here every other day, you know, doing this. So the kebab seller, you see, look at all that love you're getting over there, kebab seller. The song that he would like for today is a TV show called Avatar, The Last Airbender. And this is he says this is the theme of the character who became a legend in the world, in his world and ours. So let's do this for the kebab seller. And the show is on its way. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Big lean on the horns. Just to build on this pattern. Da, 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 da. I love the shift in the dynamics. Okay, so this is where I'd like to stop on this. So what we're hearing is that da 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 da, and this is a great example on arrangement buildup. At the very beginning, it started with its emphasizing, the bottom end, the boom boom, of the brass punchiness, with just the fullness and the forte, if you would, the strength of kind of mid-range strings that were happening. And then every 4 bars, because it's just that same pattern. And I don't say that to be frank, I mean to be whatever. But it is a build on this pattern, then something else comes up and something else adds into it, but it kind of marinates us into the character, le motif, or the theme of that particular character. And now we're hearing this complete pullback still with that same melody, but now everything is pulled back and he's giving us just a different dynamic. Now, let's see if he stays with that same pattern for the rest of the track. So it's... That can't be it. Oh, okay. And another thing about this composition, it almost is giving you a heads up on the different iterations, possibly, of what the composer will use in this TV series when this character comes up. So as a composer, the way I was listening to this is there was about 4, even if you count this last 4 bars that just happened, 5 different ways that da 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 or da da da. I'm sorry, I'm having hiccups and trying to do a melody at the same time. It gave us a bold version of it. It gave us a built-up version of it. It gave us kind of a skinny brick and mortar version of it. Then it gave us a beautiful version of it, or more of a sultry, sadder version of it. And then finally it gave us a lonely version of it. So to me, those are kind of hints that the composer might use those same kind of dynamics whenever that character shows up in different parts and in different, emotions of that particular scene. So, but to me, that's just like, I think one of my favorite things about listening to tracks like this, though it may have sound like the pattern was repetitive and stuff, it's almost like saying, how many different things can we build on this platform and still give it new life and strengthen it and bring it and then change it just a little bit to give it, that to me is where arranging is in its most powerful use. The next up is the driver. Some more TV and radio stuff. Cool beans here. What we have coming up is a song called Love Dog. And the artist is TV on the radio. Is that what that means? So he is saying, I came across this band when they were featured in my favorite racing game. Ooh, that's good. That's how this works, right? You get a song in a racing game, you become a fan. That's what this is really all about. Different way to get the music out there. Need for Speed. So I guess Need for Speed was the game. And Pro Street from 2007, I guess, double title. So you've been obsessed with the sound driver. So yes, perfect timing. You just made it. So let's bring your song on there. The song is Love Dog from TV on the radio. All right, here we go. That little clicky, it actually has a really cool room sound on it. The rest of the drum is very tight. have a subtle bass line comes in an anticipated part of a measure. I like that with his voice. Weird note there. I don't know why, but there's something about this that's making me feel a little Peter Gabriel. So I don't know what the genre of this track would be. Kind of a contemporary ambient, maybe drum and bass. I don't know. But here's something. This is another example of staying close into the pocket, of not having a lot of different changes in there. And once again, with the additives of other arrangements, using different sounds, making it rich, making it a little more ambient, a little more swimmy, if you would. About a minute into it, they came in pretty hot with the pad. I mean, the pad kind of slightly overwhelmed the vocals a little bit, but that it's already in my head. You know, whether it was a conscious hook for them to write, I don't know, but that's where, again, that kind of songwriting. And I'm becoming a fan of this really super less is more, ironically, anti what a lot of other older composers and producers and people talk about how music is not what music used to be because it doesn't have all these changes and all this stuff into it. I'm becoming more and more of a fan of the kind of music that doesn't have an incredible amount of chord changes and stuff and allows the melody to become the ruler of the track.
No one knows the days of where the land is lowest, where the water flows to, and
a little sneaky bass line back there. Trippy ambient pattern back there. Trippy sound design in the back there. That bass line. So trippy. That bass line was hiding back there the whole time. Driver, that was a super trippy track. I enjoyed it because of myself. Like I said earlier, I'm getting into tracks that just allow you to marinate in something like a rhythm or just some kind of a pattern. Maybe that's just where my head's been lately. I want to glide a little more. I want to be the kind of music I want to listen to, at least on my personal kind of playlist at the moment, is the kind of music that just lets you settle into some kind of pattern. And then me as a composer, I'm always going to listen for, subtle changes and stuff. But even that little bass line was way back there in the mix, but I could hear it, but it was very, very subtle. So that's like taking a lot of times when I'm listening to music, it's like taking a sip of wine. I'm not a sommelier or whatever. Is that what they call them? A wine taster is a sommelier, where you can taste the blackberries and the soil and the sun and the sky of the year it was, but there are those little kind of nuances in music when I listen to that I love to pick up on. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. That's super subtle, so anyhow, Driver, that was kill. I loved it. By the way, guys, volume check. Is my ratio of voice to music a little better? I'm going to start something else. Let me know on that so I can gauge the rest of the avocado show. Next up is SS Goverlord. You want a song called Rydeen, and the name of the band is Yellow Magic Orchestra, an iconic song from a Japanese band. 1979. All right. Let's go. Already with the video. Oh my God, Soul 7. And those were the badass video effects of the day, That guy's look gives me a little bit of the Cars vibe. That constant sequencer is such a grind. Sounds like a bunch of horses running. The bass line is giving it some really cool life. Very unique approach to this, but very much spot on for the time, without a doubt. I just read that a couple of the members of the band passed away, and that's a bummer. Hope they had good, prosperous lives in every stretch of the imagination, during their lives. The kind of sounds that they're using, it's really bizarre, but there's a part of me, if you're saying this is 1979, I believe was the original, what it said, I'm thinking that that's kind of the there's another one pre-TR-808. I think it was a CS. I can't remember. With that drum sound. but I think most of the synth work sounds like it was generated off of something called a sequential circuit Prophet synth. I don't know which iteration, if it was the Prophet 5. It's just, this was that very beginning of, synth and, the way that synth was being born, if you would, and being stretched and pulled and yoked in different ways and with compositions and arrangements. And truth be told, a lot of creativity like this that is very melodic, and they use this this kind of technology extremely well, comes from the excuse me, Japanese composers and musicians of the times. The Japanese composers and musicians are extremely melodic, even when they have little to use, which we've all heard, in the run of chip tunes that I've done. Yeah? No? Maybe? I don't know. Oh my God, those syndromes. Double piccolo kind of pattern. I like that the drum peeled off here. We can hear a little bit more of the layers. Yeah, I mean, as well as the video, the performance also it mirrored a lot of the. I don't know, maybe whatever the influence of it. I actually looked like I was looking at a version of Centipede. Remember the game Centipede back in the days for us old farts? And the little thing that was shooting down, it looks like there was some of that imaging that was actually in there. But once again, as I said in the middle of the stop, or in the track when I stopped, it's like this is just like the embryonic beginnings, I guess, of we've heard composers that we've highlighted on this show that are chiptune composers for many of the games, but yet there was kind of a burgeoning or a growing genre of the chiptune sound compositions that didn't have to sound so 8-bit that, guys like the Yellow Magic Orchestra tapped into. And but nostalgically for me, though, that's where I came in with that old Prophet VS or Prophet 5 sequential circuit kind of vibe. There was a lot of little things I recognized, and also there was like Casio work in there. It sounded like the pew pew of the guns, pew 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 pew. I remember that being on the Casio. I also remember that being on some other early Roland keyboards as well. Yeah. Well, okay. So Quaizel did a little bit of research. And, that's really cool. Thanks for doing that. So, electro pop boom. Is that what we call electro pop? Okay. For me, though, it's just so nostalgic just because I was a teenager already, or not a teenager. I was maybe 18, 19. That's like 79 or something like that. And already working knee deep in it. So, it's almost like... it's almost like you could smell the synthesizers. How when I'm listening to some of this stuff, and I kind of can get that other sensory of it because it was a real part of my life as well. So I did enjoy it, and thank you so much, Overlord. I appreciate it. Okay, next up is coming from Meek Sisu. Excuse me. hanging out here in our Twitchosphere, becoming one of our usual suspects here. The song is Welcome to the Internet, and it's from the movie Inside. This is and the message is Bo Burnham is a comedy singer-songwriter. This is a track from his special Inside, written and released during the COVID pandemic. All right, guys, let's do this.
Welcome to the internet. Have a look
So one of these.
around. Anything that brain of yours can think of can be found. We've got mountains of content, some better, some worse. If none of it's of interest to you, you'd be the first. Welcome to the internet. Come and take a seat. Would you like to see the news or any famous women's feet? There's no need to panic. This isn't a test. Just nod or shake your head and we'll do the rest. Welcome to the internet. What would you prefer? Would you like to fight for civil rights or tweet a racial slur? Be happy, be horny, be bursting with rage. We got a million different ways to engage. Welcome to the internet. Put your cares aside. Here's a tip
I feel like
for
I'm riding on a
straining
Ferris
pasta.
wheel.
Here's a 9-year-old who died. We got movies
that kind of
and
music, yeah?
doctors and fantasy sports and a bunch of colored pencil drawings of all the different characters in Harry Potter fucking each other. Welcome to the internet. Hold on to your socks, cause a random guy just kindly sent you photos of his cock. They are grainy and off-putting. He just sent you more. Don't act surprised, you know you like it, you whore. See a man beheaded, get offended, see a shrink. Show us pictures of your children, tell us every thought you think. Start a rumor, buy a broomer, send a death threat to a boomer, or DM a girl and groomer, do a zoomer, find a tumor in your. Here's a healthy breakfast option. You should kill your mom. Here's why women never fuck you. Here's how you can build a bomb. Which Power Ranger are you? Take this quirky quiz. Obama sent the immigrants to vaccinate your kids.
This guy's
Could I
great.
interest you in everything all of the time?
Okay, I gotta stop just for a second, man. This guy's lyrics and his performance actually is absolutely incredible. You know, the way his cadence, you can hear the humor in his voice as he's saying. It's almost like you can tell when someone is talking with a smile. You know, so as a performer, he's nailing. His lyrics are hilarious. What I want to say about the music, though, that's really unique in his approach is he did give us that kind of like House of Mirrors, you're going to the circus, merry-go-round kind of music, you know? And you kind of think of the monkey that has the big tom-tom here and the cymbals that go like this or whatever the case is. He's doing a phenomenal job of relaying in his music the circus of his lyrics, of what it is that he's saying, is matching the circus of the music. I mean, it's just so freaking well done.
I'm a little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything all of the time. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A little bit of everything all of the time.
You know, it could be a little Danny Elfman.
Crime. Anything and everything all of the time.
Bringing us down into the abyss.
You know, it wasn't always like this. Not very long ago, just before your time, right before the towers fell, circa 99. This was catalogs, travel blogs, a chat room or two. We set our sights and spent our nights waiting.
His voicings and the chords there are really cool.
For you, insatiable you. Mommy let you use her iPad. You were barely 2, and it did all the things we designed.
I really love his voice.
To do. Now look at you. Look at you. Unstoppable, watchable. Your time is now. Your insides out. Honey, how you grew. we stick together, who knows what we'll do? It was always the plan to put the world in your hand.
Oh, jeez. Here comes the big ending.
Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything all of the time. Could I interest you in everything all of the time? A little bit of everything all of the time. Apathy's a tragedy and boredom is a crime. Anything and everything and anything and everything and anything and everything and all of the time.
Oh my God, that was absolutely incredible. I loved so much about that in so many different ways. Like, it is ultimate art to me to be able to compose a piece of music in conjunction with having the same exact sense of humor. The music has the same exact sense of humor of his lyrics, which that's what songwriting is about. You match the tone and the power of the arrangement, the instruments that you choose and everything to the energy and the lyrics of which, you know, that's why we have different genres, right? In this case, this was probably one of the more masterful compositions and performances that I've ever heard. I'm sorry, I'm an old man. I live in a coconut, and during COVID, I really wasn't as much online as you might have thought because I really didn't do anything, these reaction channels, until the end of like 2020. Anyhow, that being said, I like how he took us on this upfront journey of insanity, the internet insanity of what's going on. Didn't pull any punches with his words and stuff. Then he takes us into this like this false sense of lullaby in the essence of what he was saying, and then the music kind of slowed down and chill. What I want to say about that too is he used in his chord voicings, he was not void of having a little fun with emotionally tugging at you with seconds and fourths and ninths that didn't always resolve. You know what I'm talking about if you know what I'm talking about. So he, in this kind of campiness that he was, composing with, he had these voicings that kind of lent itself into a little bit of like the music was talking to you in a particular way with these chord, voicings and stuff. That, God dang, I'm getting so bummed at this coughing shit I'm doing. That is just this wonderful kind of like, I don't know how to put it, just so freaking well done. And then he finally gets back into the power and the speed of it all to give you one more time, I'm just going to fuck you up, And it was just incredible. And I hope, I don't know of this artist, Burnham. I guess, like it said, he's a comedian primarily, or a musician, or one of those fortunate ones that can do both. It's kind of like Jeff Dunham could be a ventriloquist who's incredible as well as an incredible comedian and writes his own stuff. So, but it looks like, geez, I just noticed it was 142 million views. So I'm hoping he bought a house off of this and whatever, because it was so deserved. So that was just well done. I kind of goobered a little bit, but I was like definitely into the whole everything. So that was a super great listen. All right, next up is 1 a.m. in the you just have to DM me this stuff 1 a.m. Come on, buddy. But I appreciate your playing in the game here. But that guy 1 a.m. All right, here we go, guys. From 1 a.m. we have a song called Resonance from the artist Home. Yeah. So. What does he say here? Anyone in the chat familiar with Summoning Salt will probably know this song. All right, here we go. Ooh, I already like this. Man, that drum pattern sure reminds me of the Lynn drum. Had to add a little sparkles to the top of that arrangement. I love the bass, it's so subtle back there, but it pulls really well. Let the file tail off a little bit so it has an end on it. 1 a.m. Is this is Home the name of the band? And is the rest of this project kind of similar to this, just different types of arrangements? This was a very gliding. Home is the artist. Okay, this was a very gliding track. This was a thinker track. This was like a coding track, not like I'm a coder. More like Morse code. That's as far back as I go. But it has one of those kind of things where I have friends that are young in like your guys' generation that do the kind of work where it's creative and stuff, and it's got this kind of lo-fi ambient bounciness to it where they can listen to this and just do a lot of craft and a lot of work on it and stuff, and it just kind of puts them in a nice little pocket. But I take it that is everything, maybe you said it, and let me scooch up on my chat here. I can't read it. So is this their genre of music? Is this what they're pretty much the rest of this project all about? It was super chill. It kind of I noticed, I think it was Double A said I had full scowl face through the whole thing. It's only because a lot of times when you see me listening to music, if I'm not over animated, if I'm not like, doing that kind of thing, because that music actually does move me that way. But when I'm getting into music that I really want to kind of absorb, albeit maybe it may sound simple, if you would, I just love to get into the nuances of the dynamics of how the delays are bouncing around or the reverbs and stuff. And like I said, at first when I was listening to it, if I was making scowly face, it was more about I was really getting into the sound of the drums. Like it really reminded me of one of the first iterations of the Lynn drums. There was a Lynn drum 2 and the first one. I believe it was a Lynn drum 2. So I get into it, because also this kind of synth pattern stuff to me, it's always amazed me that the simplicity of music has such a great reach. And I'm not saying that as a, it's just so wonderful. To me, it kind of gives me it kind of lets me feel what the world at large loves to listen to as a whole. The kind of music that brings them into a trance or puts them into a good mood and stuff like that. And this is another one of these tracks. I just looked down. It's 127 million views. Somebody do the math. If it's $7,000 per million on right now the average CPM or CPC on YouTube advertising, even if you're running an ad just at the front, and it's an average of 7,000, that's a grip. you know. And I just love the fact that it was just so chill, you know. No, I know you weren't dogging on me. I took it seriously, Double A. No, you weren't dogging on me. But I do. I kind of get. I have different faces. The different faces of the avocado. So, but that was thanks 1 a.m. That was chill. Oh my gosh, my dono list has gotten huge here. Okay, stand by. Okay, next up we have from Great Gas Gun. This next track is called "Arms of the Ocean," and the band is Blackbriar. His message is, "Don't go splashing around in suspicious ponds, Jeebs. Enjoy the sirens' call safely from a restrained distance." Oh, I like that. Ooh, oogie boogie. I like that. It's kind of a little messaging there. All right, guys, here we go. From Gaskuskin, from him.
Through the sound of raging waves, her voice is leading me astray. I feel I need to be with her right away. For she sounds so sweet, I cannot leave her all alone here in this deep and dark blue unknown. Come swim to me in a forward motion, lie with me in the arms of the ocean. Oh, sing to me, my lady of the sea. Show me the way with your melody. Oh, my dear unwary sailor, come to my shore. It's way safer than the roaring sea. I need you here with me. Oh, my sweet unwary man, follow my voice and take my hand. Let me take you to the promised land.
There it is.
Swim to me in a forward motion, lie with me in the arms of the ocean. Sing to me, my lady of the sea. Show me the way with your melody. Swim to me in a forward motion, lie with me in the arms of the ocean. Sing to me, my lady of the sea. Show me the way with your melody. Oh, she's pulling me into the fathomless deep. There's nothing I can do.
Tough place to stop, but I definitely have to say something. I was at first kind of going to rinse this into that Nightwish vibe, only because you guys know I don't have a very rich knowledge and discography of genres and stuff like that. You know, of being kind of symphonic, but it wasn't symphonic. But what I kind of liked the fact that this didn't blow into a symphonic thing, because it almost felt like this is where it was going. This is one of those magical little tracks that, for me, is, even though the tracks in the back are building, they're getting stronger. We got the punch in with the guitars and the drums came in, is that from the beginning, the texture of her voice and the strength in which she was singing maintained itself, and her voice tone is so crystal. It's like it's like when I kind of bring up the term when I say, you know, it's the it's the oboe of the orchestra. It's just like her tone is just so Ginsu, you know, across this arrangement. I really love it. But I love the fact that it didn't turn into a symphonic. It's still metal, but it's still symphonic, and it really has that eerie glide to it. I love this, that little mysterious, mystic running of arpeggiation back there. Still hear little string arrangements in there.
We're sinking with graceful motion, lying forever in the arms of the ocean. Sing to me, my lady of the sea. Sing me your lullaby, so I can go peacefully.
The video very much matches the essence of the track, and I guess also in the message it was, being a siren. I kind of know what a siren is as far as it's like a mystic call to come, and it's almost like a vibe. I don't know the exact. I'll just stop right there. But once again, I love the fact that it did raise itself in production to be more punchier, get that pseudo-symphonic metal or rock vibe in there. But I love the background vocal textures on this were to kind of mirror that siren vibe. Yes, exactly. That's what it was. Lures sailors to their deaths. In such a beautiful way. But there was mention of a manatee in there. Was there mention of a manatee? You guys were typing manatee and stuff. I didn't know if there was a mention of a manatee. I thought I heard it, but maybe I wasn't hearing it right. I love the track, and it's a track that I would be able to jam to in my, or not jam to, but would enjoy listening to on my playlist as well. They were giant birds with heads that caused... Ah, okay. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Oh, manatees were thought to be mermaids. Oh, guys, wait a second. I got to show you this. Give me 1 second. Stand by for 1 second. You're going to die laughing. I was just talking to my friend about this. Stand by. So we were talking about manatees, right, just now? So I said, dude, wait until you see this. Do you see that? Manatee hanging there? It's a tea bag holder. And you put tea in it and you let it stew. Is that freaking hilarious? It's a mana tea. And you put the tea, the tea inside the body here. Hang on for a second. So you put the tea in there. And it's got all the little holes, as you can see, in the tea. And you pop it back on. And then for it to steep, it hangs. Is that not hilarious? I'm telling you. That's just hilarious. I'll put Manatee right here for the rest of the show so he can sit here and watch it, Mr. Manatee. Now, I will say, I did try to use it once. And I was a little sus only because this is a rubber product. And it worked, but I was automatically thinking, man, I'm not too sure if I'm going to put this in like 140-degree water and let it steep, if any toxins would release from the... So I just kind of said, I'll play it safe and keep Manatee here. He'll guard the rest of our session here. So, yeah, the mug is actually kind of cool. My dad was doing a session in Nashville for Shelby Lynn, and he brought back this for me. So the cup was really super cool beans. I don't know exactly where he bought it, but I thought that was cool. Anyhow, so let's continue on. So next up is It Snows in Australia. And what do we want here? It snows in Australia. Excuse me. Oh, stainless steel tea bag. Oh, I love that. Those are cool. I am kind of an outdoorsy, fartsy kind of guy, so I do like little tchotchkes like that. You would think so. I'm sorry. Hang on for 1 second. I want to catch it. So Judgment, you think I was just being a little overprotective by it? I think possibly I was. I don't know. I wouldn't think. Truth be told, though, I wouldn't think that anybody would release a product, albeit a tchotchke, if it really did have any issues with any super hot water contacting it and any chemicals from the build from the rubber would let go. But I also have to admit I was afraid to use it, and then I'd go through it and never find it again as a product. So anyhow, I thought that was just a super badass little thing. The man a T. Hang on for 1 second. Let's see if it's... Oh my goodness, no way. Stand by for a second. Oh shit. Oh, it's still here. And it's, look guys, here it is guys. Here it is right here. I found it. So if you guys want the manatee, there's the link. It's so cool. I'm sorry, I had to do that. Okay, let's get back to business. This is from It Snows in Australia. This is a band that is called Siouxsie and the Banshees. And the name of the track is Running Town. By the way, I do want to say that It Snows in Australia is a very talented composer hiding in our chat here. He sent me an actual piece of music chart that I read. I was like, qua? Well done. I haven't finished listening to it with my eyeballs, but all right, guys, here we go. Is he even here today? I don't even think he's here right now. I don't think he's here with us right now. Well, he knows where to go to get his track. Let's go. Has a weird little B-52s vibe somehow.
Just a step onto the street and a comfortable beat. Rattlers at your feet in running town. Helter skelter, all impetus is seething in running town. So curses, full speed ahead, full speed
So B-52s, my goodness.
Nocturnal aggressions and bursting irritations deride the friendly motion in running town. Helter skelter, all winter, the impetus is seething in running town. And that's curses, full speed ahead, full speed ahead.
Nice little flange on the voice there. You know, the B-52s-ish, kind of the Cure, kind of Joy Division. But what I love about this is the production element of this is just a little more polished. I'd say, and not for any other reason that I think also it's not as grind driven as with guitars as whatever it is they're using in the back, Mellotrons or whatever it is they have synthwise going on back there. A lot of the tonal quality and the melody is reminiscent of B-52's, the Cure-ish kind of vibe, but it's just the production is a lot more sharper, let's say, if that's the right way to say it. It's got a little bit of the Love in the Rockets vibe, maybe. Had a little bit of a little gothic vibe to it as well, and actually a little sprinkle of shoegaze. I don't know, maybe I'm crossing up too much in it, but because of the fact that this wasn't like, it was guitar driven in the sense that the guitar was used to, get a lot of the swimminess songs out of it, but it wasn't like cha-cha-cha, a guitar punk. It wasn't guitar punky in its playing. Am I saying this the right way? I don't know if I'm saying this right. Maybe because I'm not hearing a little bit more edginess or saturation in the guitars. So, but definitely has a little bit of that goth kind of vibe, this particular track. I've never heard of them before, the first time I'm listening to it, so I don't know that this is their thing through and through, through their albums. But, and a little bit of that shoegaze vibe. And I think that's because of just the continual, kind of just wailing and letting it ride vibe of that. But definitely really hit me with the B-52 vibes, for sure. No two ways about that. Super nice track, man. And I'm glad you made it in for that as well. Okay, who's coming up now? Brexter? Brexter for breakfast. Brexter 420. For breakfast, you must have Captain Crunch. If you are a 420 miser in the morning. Captain Crunch. Quietly listening and enjoying. How many of you guys have ever tried Captain Crunch as a cereal? Did it ever kind of make the top of the roof of your mouth kind of sore? Kind of like... So... okay, so the song for Brexter is In the Air Tonight by Blacktop Mojo. So let's see what we got here. How you been, Brexter? What have you been up to? Let's see what we got here.
Alrighty.
All right.
Tell them where we're at.
What's up, everybody? We're here at Trinity River Distillery here in beautiful Fort Worth, Texas.
Yep.
We had to come pick old Captain Murtis up from Love Field in Dallas, and we decided to slip on over here and hang out with our buddies. It's actually the master distiller right here.
Look at this guy. Boo! What's up?
It's the guy that
He was sneaking a bake
It's the guy that
shot.
mixes up this whiskey.
I'm out of company. Yeah, we brought a special bottle up here.
Oh,
we
did we?
got a
Just for the
special bottle.
Serenade episode.
This is for the serenade
Yeah,
episode.
serenade.
So if you look up here, this ceiling's about 3,000 feet high, and it's an old ranch-style bean factory that used to be here.
Yeah.
And, so it's got some good natural reverb, so we decided we'd come down here and we'd do a little song for you guys.
All right.
Try it out.
Let's see what
Man,
y'all
this is
got.
the end of Portal 1.
You act like a professional with this, huh?
Far from it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all of my life. Oh Lord, and I feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
A little bit of Phil Collins in the grind. Am I still fried?
Well, if you told me you were drowning, how would I lend a hand? I've seen your face before.
Hello, my name is Quado. I am fried. I have gotten completely baked. Okay, everybody, you guys know the drill when this happens, right? Turn down the volumes in your headsets, okay? Because I'm about to do the restart. You'll hear the pop. That's not going to be a pretty sound. So everybody turn it down. Here we go. Okay, great. Okay, maybe it's better now, so we'll finally get it. Perfect, so let's keep going. Hear me? Oh. There it is. I turned down my own volume. Stand by. How about there? Is that better? Can you guys hear me now? Hello, hello. Okay, good. Let's try this again. Thank God I can edit my hard drive. Okay, where did the song start? The song started right about here. Thank you guys. Sorry about that. Technical glitch is going to happen, but I appreciate it. All right.
Can we do a little song for you guys?
All right.
Try it out.
Let's see what y'all got. You act like you're professionals or something.
We're not. Far from it. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all of my life. Oh Lord, and can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord, oh Lord.
This is like a cell block performance, yeah?
Well, if you told me you were drowning, how would I lend a hand? I've seen your face before, my friend, but I don't know if you know who I am. Well, I was there and I saw what you did. I saw it with my own two eyes. So you can wipe off that grin. I know where you've been. It's all been a pack of lies. And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, and I've been waiting for this moment for all of my life. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
Yeah, but this song works fantastic with this acoustic arrangement.
Will I remember? No, I remember. No
Background vocal was
worry.
in a major third. I was like,
How could I ever forget? It's the first time, the last time we ever met. Well, I know the reasons why you keep your silence on. No, you don't fool me. The hurt doesn't show. The place it goes. No stranger to you and me. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Oh Lord, can you feel it coming in the air tonight? Oh Lord.
wow.
I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Oh Lord, oh Lord.
And he ain't even reaching. He's hitting that stuff. That was great.
Any last word?
There we go. I'll stop it there. You know, 7.9 million views. It kind of tells me, as I've spoken many times before, about the power of just a great written song with a melody. And this was the production off of a cell phone, literally off of a cell phone, it sounded like. And that music, a really good, well-written piece of music transcends the intensity of layered arrangements and, you know, incredible, you know, studio musicians and performances. Sometimes it's that thing, you know, it's, I forgot who taught me this back in the day. Some producer came in the studio and I forgot, God, I can't remember. I can see his face. I can't remember his name. And he said, you know, if you could take any one of these tracks, we were listening to, I think it was one of Motley Crue's new albums that came out. And he sat with me and we're sitting in the studio listening to the album over the big JBLs and stuff. And he goes, this song, if you played that on a guitar, would be still a stone cold hit. You know, that was his delineation when he was thinking about it. Can this be played with a single guitar and a melody, you know, without stuff going on in the background for it to have that same impact? And so this was just a great written song and then performed in a really fun, organic situation. This guy's voice is fantastic. I know nothing of the band, but this guy's voice is fantastic. And when he went into his comfort zone, if I'd like to say, when he got really ballsy with his voice, he wasn't pushing for it. He was just letting it rip, you know? And the guy playing the guitar having a good time. There were a couple background vocal notes where I was like, but that's just me being, you know, Bobo composer, arranger, going, what's that? But it, you know, I was still in it to win it. So that was a great suggestion. Thank you so much. Sorry about that ASMR moment of my microphone. I'm going to do one more and then take a short break, and I'm going to come back. This will be a real short break too, but I want to do one more. This is for Aman. How you doing, man? Been nice and quiet, hanging out in the background, lurking, a la radio station, kind of listening and enjoying. This was quite the incredible dono, $69,420.69. Puts you high up, number one on the list for today. That's because he cashed in all of his channel watching points. I think that's what that was. So good. Oh, here we go, guys. This is going to be a nice track. This is perfect one to finish this particular session with. And when I say session, I'm coming back. I'm going to take a break after this. But we're going to be doing a track from the Mighty Isis band. And I'm reading your message here, just expressing my thanks for you very much. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, so this is one of your favorites. Good. And thank you very much. That was a very kind message, Aman. All right, let's listen to the song Wait. And W-E-I-G-H-T, not the other Wait, from the band Isis. Let's do this. All right. This kind of has like a dusk ambience to it, like sun setting into like what the evening might produce kind of vibe. I like that the reverb on that tom is panned to this side. Different kind of use of stereo imaging. But I love the sound of that snare. It's with the snare dropped away from the skin. At least that's what it sounds like to me. The seductiveness of that lo-fi drone, the tone they're using for that. It's almost as if they also shifted the reverb on the snare more center through this mix in the process. And the bass player just holding down those eighths and just staying in the pocket. It's what's delivering the gooseneck for me. You know, I'll bet you this song would be so badass in a light show inside that dome in Vegas, because it was a visceral journey, ambient, ethereal, visceral journey. And one of the production aspects of this that really pulled me in was the time that they took to get us into the next kind of movement, if you would. There wasn't any chord jumping around or anything. Once again, this was like really super progressive layering and building slowly on bringing you and lifting to another journey. The bass player was paramount through this whole thing. It kind of had that, God, what's the name of that Zeppelin track? All right, where it opens up with the harmonica. I can't remember. It had that kind of vibe to it once the power came into it. Yes, When the Levee Breaks. It had that When the Levee Breaks happen, and I started getting chicken skin listening to it. And I think this has been that stream that's really brought me into the fold of the power of, and you can, less is more, but the power of building arrangements on a pattern that doesn't drift too far, that allowed me to just soak into it and just get lost into the whole thing. Stop listening to the details of the track like I do here when I do what I do. Excuse me. And be able to glide into the messaging of what they were doing. To a lot of people, this may have sounded just kind of long and simple and relaxed and stuff. To me, this was something that was, and also it was transformative. I don't know if that's in my head, psychedelically transformative as far as visual. I saw somebody, I think it was Vex, had said something about that. It was, at one point, Isis and Tool did a show together, and I totally see that. I totally understand how that pairing on a tour had to have been just mind-numbing. Because Tool brings you on the same kind of journey. Now, I don't know a lot about the Isis discography, like how many tracks are like this, or like 7, 8, 9, 10-minute tracks. But I definitely, when I read that, I went, oh, that pulls. That definitely tracks, without a doubt. And then the little sparse, there was the female voice there. I don't know if she's part of the band or if that was maybe something that they had come in just as an arrangement emphasis. But the whole thing for me had built with this kind of that, it literally took a minute and a half to bring that snare sound from its very small, light touched performance. And like I noticed too, that weird trickery that even at the beginning of that, maybe the first 8 bars, I detected it way in the back, but I was wondering what was going to happen. It kind of sensed like we're going to get build-ups of the arrangement, and how that snare sound, if you would, without the snare on, had just the reverb sent to this side, and then as the drums came in powerfully, they kind of opened that up into the full stereo imaging of the experience. But this was one of those tracks that I know I use this term too much lately, but it has that shoegaze kind of vibe, and I say that in the most positive way when you start to just let these chords ring out and you get enveloped in the experience of listening to it. That's the best that I can pull, in talking about this, because, when a track gets, longer, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes, then all of a sudden I'm letting myself just get taken by the track, and it was like a guided, a guided missile through the universe kind of a thing. Like you're just constantly soaring and soaring and soaring and soaring and soaring through. So, yes, that's another one. I was thinking a little bit Dark Side of the Moon-esque as maybe part of an influence with that, but I just wanted to let it run through. So, anyhow, Alma said there's a great recording of this song with the band that Justin Chancellor of Tool. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that had to have been a hell of a show to see. Isis and Tool. You definitely had to bring a couple of reloads on that, if you know what I mean.